Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my brother from the same mother, my brother Alex. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. You interrupted my workout today, by the way.
You were working out?
I was working out.
I thought you stopped working out.
I did, but I got to start.
No.
I got to start again to stop again.
You know, I ran the marathon last week. I took last week off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm right back to training this week for another marathon.
I was thinking while I was at the gym, which I don't do very often because smoke starts coming out of my ears. But I was thinking, I'm like, New Year's is coming up, and I'm like, why do people wait till New Year's to actually, get into, their New Year's resolution? I'm like, I think now is a good time to start. Like right after Thanksgiving, right? Because then you give yourself 3 weeks before the week of Christmas where you're probably going to drink and, enjoy, some good food.
Holidays, right?
And I'm like, why don't society as a whole, right, get it programmed in our heads, hey, let's start a month early so we're kind of in the groove of working out and all that stuff.
Well,
and then by the time...
But then what do you call it? Do you call it like December 3rd resolution? It doesn't sound as nice as New Year's resolution.
But you can still say, "Hey, my New Year's." Well, you're just starting your New Year's resolution a little earlier. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's the calendar completely changes over.
Right.
I think that's the time to do it. But I agree with you. I've always said, if you want to make a change, you make a change right now.
Right.
Right. Like you hear people say, "Well, I'm going to go on a diet on Monday." No. If you already know you're going to go on a diet and it's like Thursday, fuck it. Go on a diet right now.
It's like, on the weekend, right? It's Saturday and, you go out with your buddies and I'm going to go on a diet on Monday. But tonight I'm going to fucking get hammered.
And I'm going to eat everything.
I'm going to make sure I throw up at the end of the night.
Nah, that's a bit much. Well, it's funny that I say that too because I started training today on Monday.
See, you didn't follow your own advice.
But to be fair, I had to give myself a week off to recover from the marathon, so I gave myself some time to recover.
We'll cut you some slack.
But I had a good solid run today. I've been eating healthy today, and I'm gonna go right through the holidays, and I'm not gonna care.
Yeah, so I started a little early on my
New Year's
back to the gym resolution, I guess. So, yeah.
My New Year's resolution this year is going to be to not say the following sentence. The Houston Texans are the best 9-5 team in the NFL, and the Houston Texans are the worst 9-5 team in the NFL.
Have you seen their results the whole year?
Yeah,
It's loss, win-win, loss, win-win, loss, win-win.
And some of those losses are horrific.
Broncos.
Jaguars. And some of those wins are like super impressive.
Patriots.
Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh, and they got blown out by the Ravens. Didn't they get blown out by the Ravens?
Yeah, well, but that's not a bad loss,
That's not a
right?
bad loss,
That's a good team. That's probably, right now, the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, they have, you're right. They have some good wins and they have some bad losses, which I don't know what kind of team we're going to get going into the playoffs, right?
I mean, so they had a, kind of like a playoff light game against the Tennessee Titans yesterday in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they pretty much dominated that game. They won by 3. The Tennessee made a late charge, but they really they dominated that game.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball, and I don't understand why this can't happen. I'm not gonna say every week, but you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot be a good football team and get blown out by the Broncos at home.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they barely lost, right, on a late drive.
It wasn't like it was in Mile High Stadium, right?
And it was in Mile High. They got blown out at home.
Well, I think that the key to them right now is running the ball, because they seem to be running the ball a lot better. So I think if they can find that groove and running the ball, maybe they can control the clock a little more, and Deshaun Watson doesn't have to scramble for his life.
I think, obviously the game in 2 weeks, the last game of the season, will again be against Tennessee, and it'll be at home. But I think with a game advantage right now, I think the Texans are going to... I thought this before. I think they're going to win the South.
I did not think that the Texans were going to win the South, but now that you mentioned 2 weeks out, next week the Titans have to play the Saints. That's going to be a tough game for the Tennessee to win. That last game may not even matter.
Yeah. And who do the Texans have next week?
I don't know. Maybe the Colts again?
Oh, God, let's hope not.
The
Buccaneers. They have to go to Tampa.
That's a Saturday game. Triple header on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, they're doing... I don't like the Saturday games. Do you?
Yes, absolutely. Get rid of college football.
Yeah,
I like it.
Whoa.
I like it.
Easy.
I like...
Get rid of college football. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, it's... I like the Saturday games, NFL.
I don't.
Yeah.
I like my NFL on Sundays.
Yeah? Well, you do get NFL on Sundays.
I like all of it on Sunday. If I had it, we've talked about this, haven't we? I would get rid of the Thursday night game.
That, yes.
And I would get rid of the Saturday games.
Mm-hmm.
I would get rid of the bye weeks. Although, for player safety, I really wouldn't. But I want 15 games on Sunday.
So and then the Monday night.
Yeah,
The Monday night you gotta have.
Look, when you go back to work, you gotta have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, I mean, whenever Monday Night Football, whoever the guy was with the guitar and the hat.
Hank Williams Jr.
Was that Hank Williams?
He's ready for Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should bring that shit back.
He's back.
Oh, is he?
I think so. I think I've seen him this season.
Is he all like plastic surgery and shit?
It's probably an old...
Or is it Hank Williams Jr.
It's an old clip, probably.
Okay, so as of now, the Ravens and the Patriots have byes. A very good game last night, by the way, between the Bills and the Steelers. I thought it was a good game, but I'm still not sold on Pittsburgh. I think them having a turnover of players and not really having time to play together, they're just not ready.
Well, and they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean that kid, he's okay. He doesn't make catastrophic mistakes, but he doesn't make plays either.
Yeah, I mean, Connor's been banged up. Juju's been banged up. They
found this Johnson kid, number 13.
Yeah.
He's good. But, I mean, you're right. To your point, right? The meshing of the offense. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So right now you got the Steelers against the Chiefs, and then you would have the Bills versus the Texans.
Yeah.
Man,
I think it stays that way.
Really?
I do not think...
It might only because of the tough matchup that the Titans have the last 2 weeks. Right? Because right now they're on the outside looking in.
Right now they're tied with the Steelers.
Right, but they wouldn't...
Right, but,
they don't hold the tiebreaker.
The Steelers have whatever tiebreakers there is, right? But the Steelers have the Jets and the Ravens. And the Jets should be a win. And the Ravens may have nothing to play for by that point.
Yeah.
So, not that they're going to roll over because there is a little bit of bad blood between those two, but let's face it, it's a little bit different when you're playing for your playoff life as opposed to not. Whereas the Titans have no let up in their schedule.
Yeah, no.
So I think it's going to be Pittsburgh and the Bills. The Bills, I think, are definitely in, right? Are they definitely in?
Yeah, they clinched. Yeah, they clinched.
Yeah, they clinched the playoff spot. They're in. They're still fighting for the division because they still have a game against the Patriots, right?
They could still win the division,
They could conceivably. They go to New England this week and then the Jets the last week.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough matchup for the Texans, man. I don't know that they would beat the Bills.
I don't. I
don't
with
know
the Texans. With the Texans, it depends. If that best 9-5 team shows up, they'll beat them. If that worst 9-5 team shows up, they'll lose by 20.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills got a stingy defense, and Josh Allen's playing decent
football.
Like,
Yeah,
he's not turning the ball over.
They're nothing to sneeze at this point. I think people probably didn't. Yeah, I think everyone's pretty clear now that they're a good football team, and you know their 10-4 record isn't just a good schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people realize that they've got a lot going for them, and they're going to be a tough out, regardless of which Texans team shows up.
And the Chiefs would roll over the Steelers. I don't think the Chiefs have quietly, I think, starting to play better. Like their defense, which I think was not as good or hasn't been as good, is starting to turn around. They put a claim on Terrell Suggs, which I think is big because they might end up having to play the Ravens in the playoffs.
Or the Patriots, right? And either one of those teams you need to. But
I'm just saying,
to be fair with the Chiefs, while I agree with you that they've shown good defense in the last couple of weeks, let's remember that that good defense was against a Patriots offense that is kind of in shambles, and a Denver team that has no offense. Mm-hmm. So, while I agree they seem to be turning the corner, I still feel like their defense might be their Achilles heel.
Could be.
So, we'll see.
They still have
sometimes momentum is all you need.
And they could make it up on the offensive side. We can't forget about that. So.
That's true. Is Mahomes 100% healthy?
I don't think he is.
That's the other thing.
I don't think he is, but I think he's so good, and he's gonna be out there no matter what. So he's gonna pull it out his ass if he has to.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about that.
But I think that's part of why they're quiet and under the radar, is because I think people know that Mahomes is not 100%.
Could be.
And that's a big deal because he is, and they've got a lot of weapons, but he is what makes that offense go.
It's amazing. Them and the Packers, like, nobody's talking about. The Packers less. The Packers are about to win the division.
Are they talking less about the Packers and the Chiefs? I don't know.
I think so. That's got to be the quiet. The Packers are like the quietest 10-4, whatever they are. What are they? 11-3.
They're 11-3.
They're 11-3 and have a bye in the first week. As of now.
As of right now. Well, but that'll go away if the Saints win tonight.
Right, but
to be fair,
now,
they played an extra game.
But as of now, they I mean, as this podcast is being recorded,
they have 11 wins, and the Saints don't. Damn it!
Exactly.
Right? You can't count it until it happens.
So I mean, I don't know.
It's weird. Like the playoff struggle this year seems to be. It feels like with 2 weeks left to go, there's less teams in the playoff chase. So in the AFC, you really only have one team on the outside looking in that could get in. That's right. Tennessee. Yeah. Everyone else is pretty much in, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know who's going to win the AFC East yet. Granted, we don't know who's going to win the AFC South yet. But as far as how many teams vying for those 6 spots, we've only got 7 teams vying for 6 spots. And in the NFC, it's similar, right?
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean...
So we have our first playoff game next week in the NFC, right? The winner of the Dallas-Philadelphia game wins the NFC East and will go on to the playoffs.
Who you got?
The loser will not even sniff the playoffs.
Who's going to win?
I've been saying all year that the Eagles are going to win the NFC East. And I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. I can't believe that we're talking about 2 teams at 7-7 with all the talent that's on both of those teams. If you looked at their roster, if you just looked at their roster, you would not say that they're an 8-8 team, which it's probably going to end up winning the division. Is going to be 8-8. one of these fools at 8-8 is going to win the division.
It's going to be tough because the game's in Philly, but I'm going to keep saying it. The Cowboys are the more talented team on paper and on the field. They have the most... Look, I said it a couple weeks ago and I'll say it again. Right now, the Cowboys are winning the division as of now. They're in the playoffs, the number 4 seed, against the 49ers. I am taking the Dallas Cowboys at home. I would pick the Dallas Cowboys right now against the 49ers.
In the playoffs?
Absolutely. First round.
No, I wouldn't. No. And
I'm
I wouldn't pick the Eagles either.
I wouldn't pick the Eagles. The Eagles are not that good this year. And Lane Johnson's banged up now.
Yeah, that's
they got too many injuries. They dropped too many passes.
This game is now again.
This is a division game, so it's going to be.
Yesterday, Dallas looked more like a team that's going to win the division than the Eagles. Right, because the Eagles really struggled with the Redskins.
And the week before against the Giants.
And the week before that, they lost to the Dolphins.
See? There's no argument for the Eagles.
Dallas has been playing crappy football up until yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday, they put the hammer down on the Rams. And, the Rams are playing good football, or they were until yesterday. And, the Cowboys look more the part. But... like you said earlier, it's a rivalry game. It's a division game.
Yeah.
You throw everything out the window.
Yeah, it should be a good game. But
it's the first playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, so
let's see.
So you're sticking to you're sticking to Dallas.
Yes, not because coaching either.
Well, no, it won't be because of coaching.
It won't be no. Yes, I'm sticking with Dallas.
And I'm going to continue to say that the Eagles are going to win the East.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. It's exciting to have a playoff-type game next week.
Yeah.
That's not on Saturday, is it?
I wish it was.
God, I hope that's like a Sunday night game.
Just imagine how much better your Saturday would be.
Imagine...
You don't do shit on Saturdays anyway.
Imagine how... I gotta go Christmas shopping, bro.
Not at night.
I gotta go shopping, all the time.
Nah, that's gotta be a... that's gotta be a afternoon game, no? It's gotta be, bro. 4 o'clock game?
It would be awesome if it was a...
Let's see.
Imagine if that game was Monday night.
It's a 4 o'clock game.
On Sunday.
Monday night we get Packers and Vikings.
That's a playoff game too.
Yeah.
Although, with the Rams losing yesterday, I think the second team in the North will get in.
Yes, they're in as of now.
Right, but even so, I think that they'll definitely get in because the Rams are now 8-6. So, the Vikings are 10-4. The Packers are 11-3. So
the Rams are not that good, right? I mean, they had a bad loss. We talked about it yesterday. They had a bad loss against Tampa Bay. Then this was an important game for both Dallas and the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Rams were right
they're
there. Still in there, right?
Yeah.
Kinda,
yeah.
And I mean, to not show up, right?
Yeah. So, see, again,
there's really not many.
Again, in the NFC, it's the same thing. You've got the NFC's pretty much done. I mean, the only thing we got to figure out is seeding.
Okay, how's this for a Saturday, bro? You got the Bills and the Patriots at 4, and then the night game is the Rams. Oh, I thought it was the Seahawks. The Rams and the 49ers.
Well, that's a good game.
That's not bad.
That's it, yeah.
Those are 2 good games.
What's the first game?
The Texans and the Bucks. Who cares about that? That won't
Well, it depends on which Texans shows up.
Right, and which Bucks. Texans,
yeah, that's true.
Because the fucking Bucks all of a sudden can put up points and fucking...
They're scoring left and right. Now, Jameis Winston is still turning the ball over at a ridiculous rate. But somehow he's scoring a shit ton of points.
I don't get it.
I love it.
That's something... I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know what's going on there either, but...
So you got those 2 games on Saturday, and then you have, on Sunday, the Cowboys, Eagles, and the Monday night Packers, Vikings. So those are good 4 games.
Okay, so we've already talked about the NFC East. Let's go to the NFC North. Packers are 1 game ahead of the Vikings. Who wins the NFC North?
Man, I had the Packers out of this thing. I didn't give them much chance, and I'm still not going to. Give me the Vikings.
Really?
Yeah. I think
now next week the Monday night game is in Minnesota.
Is it?
So that's a small advantage to the Vikings. The Vikings the Packers generally do not play well in Minnesota or Detroit for that matter. And I think
Yeah.
their last 2 games are against both of those teams.
They love playing the Bears. Rodgers owns the Bears.
Yeah, it does not go. The schedule is not favorable for the Packers. They have to go to Minnesota and then they have to go to Detroit. 2 places they have not played well historically.
Yeah, but Detroit, I mean, is...
Yeah, but
suck.
Detroit's beat them with worse football teams than what they have now.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Minnesota at this point because of that.
I mean, if Dalvin Cook is not hurt, he seems a little banged up.
That's a problem.
And yeah, but I guess it could be offset if they get back Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? Damn, I hate to change my mind. Vikings secondary is not that good. I think Aaron Rodgers would have a field day. Could have a field day.
Well, but Aaron Rodgers is not. He hasn't really been lighting it up.
No, but he's got Devontae Adams, who's a number 1 wide receiver, right? He's a number 1 on.
Is he
most
truly
teams.
a number 1, or is he a number 1 because the Packers don't have another receiver?
I think he'd be a number 1 on
Most
a few
teams?
teams in the NFL. He's no
On most teams, or on a few teams. I think I'd be a number 1 on 1 or 2 teams.
Probably on
Right?
from the depth chart down up.
Whatever. I mean, I'd probably be the number 1 on the Broncos. Anyway,
You could be.
So no, seriously, is he a number 1? Like, is he a bona fide number 1, or is he a number 1 because they don't really have
He's
a good receiving core?
I think he's a second tier number 1.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Like you put Hopkins, Odell, Julio Jones.
Wait. Who was after Hopkins?
Julio Jones.
Who was before Julio Jones?
Diva. He's still a good wide receiver.
He's
but and I'd probably put Adams somewhere in the
bottom
5.
half.
Bottom
half.
Bottom 10.
Bottom 10, yeah.
Bottom 10.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree with that. To me, that's more a function of not having receivers. Not because he's a true number 1.
But if you look at the other teams, they don't have much receivers either. Atlanta doesn't have receivers.
Who?
Atlanta.
Julio Jones?
Right, they don't have another wide receiver is what I'm saying.
They've got a number 1.
Well, Adams is their number 1.
But that's because they don't... But my point is, Adams wouldn't be a number 1 on... You said it. He's bottom 10.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be a number 1 on 20 other teams in the NFL. The Patriots would love him.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't be a number 1 on the Patriots.
He'd be like a 1A.
Yeah, he might be the number 3.
Who knows?
The way the Patriots work.
Yeah, who knows? So you're changing your mind to the Packers?
Yeah, I'm not confident in the Vikings being 100% healthy, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Saints in the South, they've already clinched.
And under the bright lights, Cousins still cannot be trusted. I mean, he had a good game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But that magic carpet ride could be coming to an end.
I don't know
You
why
know what
people...
I mean?
Yeah, people keep saying that, but the guy keeps doing his job.
Yeah.
So, in the South, the Saints have it. No one else is worth talking about. And then in the NFC West, you've got Seattle and the 49ers tied at the top 11-3. The Rams are fighting for a wild card spot at best at 8-6, but they're hanging on by a thread. They're probably not going to make it. They need the Packers to beat the Vikings, and then they need the Bears to beat the Vikings. And I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, they need too much
And they've
help.
got to win.
And they still have to play the 49ers, so a loss there.
Yeah, so they've got a tough road. They're likely not going to make it.
And they have
But the bigger question is, who wins the NFC West?
Man, you said they're tied right now?
Yep, both at 11-3.
11-3. Fuck, this is a tough one, man. I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's too close to call.
Now they play the last game of the season.
They play in Seattle, right?
Yes.
In Seattle. That's tough, man. Going into Seattle to win.
The Niners have the toughest part, right? Because they got to play the Rams and Seattle. Seattle has to play the Cardinals this week, and the Niners the last week of the season. So the schedule, I think, lines up favorably for the Seahawks. And I would pick the Seahawks anyway because I think the Seahawks are the better football team. Russell Wilson is something else, man.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick...
I don't know. I can't pick. I think
you got to pick.
It's way too close.
You have to pick.
All right, they're tying.
You have to pick.
I just did. They're tying.
Well, in that case, you're picking if they tie, then the Seahawks win the tiebreaker.
Well, that's fine. I didn't pick. I didn't make that pick. I made the tie pick.
Hey, we're doing a podcast. You have to pick.
It's a tie. It's
you
a
have
tie.
to pick.
It's a tie.
You have to pick. Gun to your head. Who do you pick?
Shit. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it is. Who you got?
Give me Josh Gordon for 500.
I feel bad for that guy. Kind of no.
I don't anymore. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? Seriously, you're getting chances after chances. Just put down the weed for a little bit, man.
Is it weed? Again? I mean,
unless he's moved over to some hardcore drugs.
I don't know.
You know, like the real stuff. I mean, what are you doing? Like,
I don't understand it.
I don't understand.
I feel bad for the guy because he very obviously has a problem.
I don't.
He obviously wants to play football.
It's a discipline problem. It's not a drug problem. You're smoking weed. Weed ain't you know.
It's not addictive,
it's
right?
It's not like you have a discipline problem now. That's what it is, and you're taking advantage of the chances that you keep getting by the NFL and by teams. I mean, you keep getting chances. Like, what more do you want? Like,
he's got to be done.
Why don't you just go the Ricky Williams route? You made your money and go enjoy your life. And if that's what you really enjoy doing, smoking marijuana, then
apparently he does because he's willing to risk. He's willing to go through this every couple of months. It seems like it's amazing to me.
You're wasting team's time. You're wasting
your time.
A roster spot for someone else that is working hard to try to make.
Well, and it can't feel good for him, right? Like he can't feel good. It's got to be somewhat depressing to always be in the news for shit like this, and it's got to be, even if, like, I understand what you're saying, right? Like the bigger picture, like, look, dude, you're taking up someone's roster spot that you obviously don't value, but even if he were to look within. Mm-hmm. It can't feel good to go through this shit, right? Like he can't feel good.
Yeah, it's got to be a headache, right?
Right, it's got to be it's got to be stressful.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I smoked some weed. Yeah. I know I'm gonna get drug tested.
But exactly. But see, right there, it can't be because he knows what he's doing. Like he's got to know what he's doing is not the right thing, and that it's gonna have negative consequences. Right.
Right.
That's why I say it's a discipline problem. Like.
Right.
That's all.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I mean, I've never had that problem, but it sucks. It sucks for him.
Yeah, and he made a nice catch yesterday. Like, I mean, they've been utilizing him, right? It's not like he's been sitting on the bench, collecting splinters on his ass.
Yeah,
I mean,
Seattle needed him.
Yeah,
they were going down the road with him.
Well, go figure, man. I don't understand. What else has happened in the NFL?
So we can talk a little bit about the MVP race. I think people feel like with the last couple of weeks, with the way Lamar Jackson has performed on the big stage on a Monday night game and whatnot, people think it's over. But I still think
it's over.
That Russell Wilson, if he puts up another epic performance against the Niners...
What would that epic performance have to consist of? Like, what would it have to be for you... And we have to take into consideration of Lamar not continuing to throw 5 touchdowns, right? Because if he continues to do that, then I feel
it's over. Right?
It's it's his to win. He's earned it.
If he kind of cools off, because if they take their foot off the gas, so to speak,
and plays half of a game week 17, right?
I think if Russell Wilson does what he did the first time against the 49ers, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, if you look at his numbers, they're insane, bro.
Yeah,
they're insane.
And
And I understand. Look, I respect what Lamar Jackson has done. I think he's been phenomenal. I sure as hell have enjoyed watching him this season.
But there's one common denominator that defines. Well, it's not common, right? Because they're different. But there is one way to decide this MVP.
How's that?
No matter what Russell Wilson does, Week 17. Head to head, Lamar Jackson went into Russell Wilson's house and beat him.
Yeah, that's one game though.
It matters.
No, it does. I agree.
I think they are both very deserving, but what Lamar has done this year has been something that we haven't seen since Michael Vick. Like, he's breaking Michael Vick's record. This is a guy that experts and scouts said he can't be a quarterback. He should be a wide receiver. And his numbers are just amazing. I mean, he's doing it all. Russell Wilson doesn't have the rushing stats that Lamar Jackson has. I mean, Lamar is well deserving of this MVP as of right now.
Maybe it's just because I'm a numbers guy. Russell Wilson has a 67% completion ratio.
What does Lamar have?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. 28 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. 28 and 5.
They're close.
I promise you, Lamar Jackson does not have those kind of numbers.
What?
Actually, I take it back.
He's better,
33
bro.
and 6.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. Lamar Jackson wins the MVP.
No, yeah,
his completion percentage is 66%.
So is it the same?
1% less.
1% less. Okay, that matters.
But 33 and 6, holy shit! Yeah. I did not realize that. Plus 1,000 yards rushing. It's over. I don't care what Russell Wilson does.
And he's got the highlight reel.
I don't care. 33 and 6.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's
33 and 6.
It's better than Russell. You don't think you think they take into account the highlight reels?
Oh, I think it helps.
Yeah. No, but do you think the voters when they vote
because when you think of who the MVP is, you have that image of those ridiculous plays, right? That he did during the season. So, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean.
Let's see.
My pick is losing tonight.
Which one?
My Kent State pick. Damn it.
Now, how is it that you like college basketball but not college football?
I only like it because I got $50. Fuck, I lost it. Damn it.
It's over?
Yeah. No, but we have a wager going on. So.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot we had
$50
cash
on the line, bro.
That's right. I forgot we had cash on.
Yeah, but it's good. Your pick is winning so far. Jay lost.
Yeah, Jay's pick was stupid.
But yeah, Moorhead. Who the hell picks Moorhead?
Jay.
Jay would like Moorhead.
Yeah, what a terrible pick. What else you got?
In the NFL?
In the NFL or anywhere? Anywhere in the world of sports.
I don't know. Drew Brees is about to pass up 2 quarterbacks tonight for total touchdown passes. That's amazing. He's about to pass up Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Damn.
How fucking sick is that? He needs 3 touchdowns.
Oh, he may not get 3 against Indianapolis.
I think he could, man.
Well, he could, but
I mean
it's not going to be easy. Indianapolis is a good football team. Good defense.
I think when it comes to the Saints, it's not a reach saying they're going to score 30-plus points and he'll throw 300-plus yards or he'll have 3 touchdowns.
No, it's always possible.
The way they operate that offense is pretty amazing.
But I felt when I looked at this game tonight, I felt like it was going to be a defensive struggle. And I think so far I'm right. It's 3-0 in the second quarter. What'd I tell you?
I don't think it'll stay like that for long.
No, though someone's going to score. It's not going to stay 3-0. That's for damn sure.
What else?
What else?
I don't know.
Are we going to wrap this sucker up?
All right, let's wrap it up.
Sometimes you just got to talk about football, and
let's go.
The NFL is just not as good when you only have 7 teams vying for 6 spots.
Yeah,
it's better when you have like all these crazy scenarios, and this year we just don't have it.
The Saints just scored a touchdown.
I told you it wasn't going to save me nothing.
Drew Brees with a touchdown pass to Michael Thomas.
Breezy. I love Drew Brees.
Yeah, man.
You got a shout out?
Yeah, I do have a shout out
to Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Shout out to you for since you're gonna break the record, touchdown record or whatever. Hold on, I can't find it now. Shit. Hold on. All right, my shout out goes to Carlos Carrasco. The guy is the pitcher for the Indians. He beat leukemia during the season, and he won. I think Person AP or the Athletic Person of the Year. So shout out to him for overcoming fucking leukemia. Hats
off to that guy, man. That was certainly the feel good story of the season. It's crazy that he.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, leukemia is nothing to mess around with, you know. And he survived, which is good for him. My shout out goes to the 3 champions from UFC 245 on Saturday night. Amanda Nunes defended her bantamweight title with a decision victory over Jermaine Durandamy. Alexander Volkanovski knocked off Max Holloway to become the new featherweight champion, and Kamaru Usman turned back Colby Covington to retain his welterweight title. All 3 fights went 5 rounds. The Usman fight finished just short of completing the 5th round. Kamaru Usman stopped him with about 50 seconds left. But really amazing performances by all 3 of them. The last pay-per-view of the year for the UFC. Really a fantastic card all the way around. Guy to keep your eye on, Chase Hooper. Kid looks like he's 10. I mean, no joke. He looks like he's 10. But he is 20 years old, actually. Had an amazing performance against David Tamer. He's going to be a good one. He's one of these tall, lanky kids, but cuts all the way down to 145. So
I haven't seen the kid, but he definitely should have been a hooper, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 6 feet tall, cuts down to 145.
Well, his last name.
Well, yeah. Name like that, yeah. Alrighty, folks. If you want to get a hold of us on the show, you can email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, Alex, how do they get a hold of you?
On Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1.
And if you want to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter as well at eMontana21. We have come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. Episode... What number are we on?
106.
106 or 107? 106.
106?
106.1. Easy listening.
You need your own radio show.
I do. That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
What would you call it?
Hanging with Mr. Ed. I don't know.
Ed the Head.
How's that for an original name? As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.